Hi, Brendan with MORryde here today to talk to you about our sliding trays with the riser kit. Our sliding trays are a great option to help you manage and organize your compartments better, as well as to give you easier access to those hard to reach items right in the middle. All of our aftermarket trays come with an 1.5 inches of built-in clearance above the floor, which is designed to allow you to clear the lip on the inside of those baggage door compartments. There are some RVs though that have deeper recesses than 1.5 inches. And so there are a few options. You can always shim the tray with some wood blocks to gain the height that you need. But MORryde does also offer our riser kit, which gives a nice clean look to the installation, allows for a quicker and easier install, and gives you different height adjustment settings. So as I mentioned, the trays come with an 1.5 inches of built-in clearance to them. Some compartments like this one here are closer to 2 3/4 of an inch of a recess on the inside. So this will need to be shimmed up. We ended up installing these at the max height to gain as much clearance underneath as possible because there's things that will be stored underneath this one. But we actually could have put this down into its very lowest setting, which would have still given us just over 3 inches of clearance, which would have been enough to clear that. All right, so included in the kit, it comes with 6 of these feet. These are gonna be positioned in all 4 corners, and then there's gonna be 2 in the middle on either side. They come in both pieces. This part right here is going to install directly to the frame of the tray. This will get bolted to that, and then this portion will actually get attached into the floor of the compartment. You'll notice there are several different height settings for this. So this is where the height adjustment comes from. If you put in the lowest setting here, that first hole will line up. You can also raise it up higher for those additional height settings if needed. In the kit, you also get 2 sets of hardware. You get 2 small bolts and nuts. Those are gonna be used to attach the bracket to the tray frame. Each of those is gonna take a set of, each one's gonna take 3 sets of the small bolts and nuts to attach that on place. You also get a bag of these longer bolts and larger lock nuts that are going to be used to go through to position the different height settings. As far as tools go, you're going to want to have an Allen wrench that is 1/8 in size, a 3/8 wrench, 7/16 wrench, and a power drill. So we'll start out and we'll go through and actually attach these. And you'll do that at all 6 locations. So now that we have these brackets installed to the frame itself, the next step is to add the footer. And this is where we're gonna also determine what height we're setting the riser kit at. If you go with the lowest setting, it's gonna add about 1 5/8 inches of clearance on top of the 1.5 inches that comes already built into the tray. So that's gonna give you a total of 3 1/8. You can also move it up here to get 4 inches, 4 1/4, or if you go all the way to the top setting, that's gonna be 5 1/8. On this particular application, the inside lip of the compartment is about 2 3/4 of an inch. So we could go into the lowest setting there and still clear that compartment, but we've actually chosen to put it into the max height setting to gain the additional storage underneath the tray. So we're gonna go through there, add our nuts and bolts, and get everything tightened down in place at all 6 locations. All right, so now that we have the riser kit installed to the tray and adjusted to the height setting that we want, the next step is to flip it over upright, slide it into the compartment where it's gonna go, and then install those feet directly to the subfloor of the compartment. All right, so we've got the tray in position. We've made sure it's square, positioned exactly where we want it. And we've also tested both sides to make sure as we pull it out there that it's clearing any lips on the edges. So we know that this is positioned where we want it to go. So the last step is we're just gonna go around and add a screw into each location. Each foot pad's gonna have 2 screw locations in the front and 2 in the back. Since this is one of our 2-directional trays that slides out from both directions, it makes the installation a little bit easier. What we're gonna do is install it on one side, slide the tray out that way, then we'll come around to the other side, slide the tray out here, and attach all the exposed screws on that location. If you're installing a 1-directional tray, it's still a pretty easy process. The only thing that's gonna be different is, rather than trying to slide out both ways, you're just gonna pull it out from one direction, lift up on it like a cabinet drawer, and then slide the tray out entirely. That will detach it from the frame and give you easy access to all the mounting locations.